Heading out into Loch Eck from the east side from Jubilee Point. There's a wee bit of sleet in the air, but it's not as cold as it was earlier. Loch Eck is situated in the Cowal Peninsula and is part of the Queen Elizabeth Forest Park. It's not a very big loch at 11 miles long, but it's surrounded by some beautiful scenery. It's said that the name of Loch Eck is derived from the Gaelic word for horse, so it's Loch Horse or Horse Loch really. Going exploring now, trying to find a good campsite. It's a great beach, but no real good pictures for the big hot tent. So it's onwards to try somewhere else. Pomoly Dome X4. It's got 6 poles that are all identical. It was -18 last night in parts of Scotland, the coldest day in 15 years. Even when I was driving up here, I drove by a loch, a bit of Loch Long and a bit of Loch Fyne, and they were iced, it was iced over. It's a sea loch. The loch I'm on this now is not a sea loch, it's a freshwater loch. I would say it's definitely milder now, but it's not half as bad as it was earlier. I've used it before. This is my 3rd time out in the tent. The last time I was there for 5 nights in it, and it performed really well. So I want my chimney back left. So let's just put it back left. This thought I'd show you what I bring with me and how I pack it. We've got the green bag to the right. That's all cooking things, pots and pans, stuff like that. I've got my barrel. That's got a variety of stuff in it. My lantern, my camp bed, my camp chair, and other stuff as well. We've got the red dry bag. That's got all my clothes in it. My sleeping bag, my sleeping mat, and my electrical stuff just to make sure that stays dry. Now I've got the wee green square bag. That's a refrigerated bag, but there's no ice packs in it today. I've just used that for my food. And then I've got my black bag there, and that's all the dirty stuff. That's like my stove, my fire pit. rug hanging up to dry. I don't know if you can see that. I got soaked in the canoe today. Yeah, with the heat up the roof, it doesn't take long for it to dry in here. So all the best holidays you've had in your life and a burger. The gear rack that you hang this on works really well. I've also got a pair of socks up there, that bone dry now, and I've got everything, my jackets, my trousers, everything's dry now after being so damp and horrible. Not just damp, wet. I mean, that was soaking wet today. It was literally just drip, 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 drip water. I think it's a good tent. I like it. I mean, aesthetically I like it. I like the way it looks. I like the colour. I like the space. Can't quite stand up in it, I need to crouch a wee bit, but I knew that before I bought it. There's two things that's annoying. One more than the other. Or niggly. Niggly, annoying, somewhere between niggly and annoying. I've had lots of tents before. I must have over 40 or 50 tents. Geodesic tents and dome tents, which seemed to be the principle for this one, I reckon. You lay it flat on the ground, you put your poles in, then you bend one, the first pole, and that takes an arc shape. And then you put the second pole in and you bend it, and then that pops the tent up, and then you've got a sort of three-dimensional shape there, rather than just lying on the ground. This wouldn't form an arch. The pole formed an S shape, and it was so annoying. The other annoying thing is, if you open the door, the inside of the tent gets soaked. I know people say, oh well, you could argue it's got 3 doors. Yeah, so that would give you options if it was raining. There's no way I'm going to try to struggle behind that stove to get out that door, or climb over a camp bed to get out that door. No, I've set my tent up so I'll get out that door. And I think they could have a wee canopy over the door. It doesn't need to go over every door. It could be a detachable thing, so you just attach it to whatever door you're using, just to give that door a wee bit of water protection. I mean, it isn't a massive issue for me, because I usually put a tarp outside my door, and that protects the door, and then I have a campfire under the tarp and blah blah blah, but I never did it tonight because I was just so tired. And so the other good thing about it is, once you do get it up, it's self-standing, so you don't need to worry about where your door is when you're putting it up. Just put it up and then turn it to whatever way you want it to go. I would say from don't buy it, 0 to the tent's absolutely brilliant and buy it 100%. If you're thinking about this type of tent, I would say I'm sitting at 75 to 80%, because I think I've got a workaround for putting it up, and that's my main issue. But I think I'll be able to do it better next time. Just talking about the filming. I'll need to get that sussed. But I'm not talking about the quality of the filming or anything like that. I'm talking about recording it interfering with the experience and the ambience and the wilderness experience, because that becomes your focus to film things, and I can't let that happen. The experience has always got to be the first thing for me, and then the film secondary. But I think that will come for me, and I'll hit that sweet spot, but I can still film it, but it won't interfere with the experience that I'm trying to have. Yeah, that's my ramble for tonight. Slanjiva. Peace. Next to my pitch there was an old ruin. I don't know any history of the building, but the green moss and the bricks was special. It might have been a dwelling at some point in time. It was just a beautiful place. Going exploring. This is very pleasant. Further up the loch, just off Dornoch Point, there is a small crannog. Crannogs are small man-made islands in the Scottish and Irish lochs that used to be inhabited. You can find them in lochs all over Scotland, and they say that some date from the late Bronze Age to the early Iron Age. So who knows who might have been paddling and fishing these waters 4,000 years ago. I'm not fighting my way through that. The bow of the canoe was too light as I'd be paddling into the wind now, so I loaded the front of the canoe with driftwood to allow it to track better in the water. The second stop was at an old farmhouse called Stook. Apparently it's been here since 1675. Not sure when it was abandoned, but at some point it was part of the Bernice estate and it was home to some long forgotten family. I made a video of me eating my dinner and I set the camera up, but I forgot to hit record, I think, because there's no video there. So my dinner was lovely. Just lingerie. This tent is toasty now. It's nice. Well, that's me saying good night. It's been a smashing night. Get a door open in the tent. I've got the fire on. The yin and the yang. The balance. Good night. The bag on the right, this small bag, is all my rubbish from the trip. The two bags here are rubbish that I've collected from round about this site I was on. I'll certainly be taking this home and dumping it. But yeah, all's good for a camped. You can see that's the rubbish bags, including the rubbish that I picked up. Well, goodbye everyone to my big adventure next month, which is going to be 5 or 6 nights in February of an ascent up in the really wild Scotland. That'll be good.